Hello, everyone. This is Dimitri, and today on our MEET.ONE Sidechain calls, Richard from TelosDAC. Richard, hello.
Hi, Dimitri. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Richard, how are you? What time is it on
Uh,
in your time zone?
it's 6:30 in the morning. I'm based in England.
You're based in England. Oh, it's pretty early.
It is, yes. It is.
Sorry for that. Sorry for
No,
that.
it's all right.
I pushed you to wake up early for interview, but I really appreciate that you make this effort to have interview and to be on a call with me. It's
That's
really,
fine.
yeah, I really appreciate this. Richard, we wish to know more about your blog producer. And first, the first question I wish to ask, uh, where are your team located? How many people in your team? Tell something about your team and who is your team members?
Okay. Yeah, happy to do that. We are a DAC. Our team itself is fairly decentralized. The background is we're all ex-corporate or some are still working within business. And we're brought together by our heritage. A lot of us are diaspora from there's East Africa and others from India, but now not based in our home countries. We're based outside. We've got somebody in Australia. We've got our dev team in our sysadmin and dev team in Venezuela. But we've also got I've got one of my colleagues. He's called Ben. He's an ex Big Four. He's over in the West Coast of America. We've got a GP that's based in Finland. So it's a mixture of various professions, but interested in blockchain. And myself, I'm an accountant by trade, commercial accountant, but very interested in systems and systems accounting. So that was my journey into this space. Particularly interested in the DLT part of blockchain because
what does mean DLT?
Decentralized ledger technology.
You mean this? Okay. So I wish to be more clear and be more simple with the words because we're talking to some people. We need to introduce some lexicon,
Okay.
Another thing. I know what you mean because I'm originally not. I'm from Ukraine, so and right now I'm living in China. So I know what it means when you live in your country, living abroad. So but I'm familiar with the situation, so I know what you mean. So right, we will write down an article about different teams based on this call. So later we will appreciate that you can send some information about your members. Just brief information so we can put in an article and people see who is there and who is working in TelosDAC. And why you guys call TelosDAC? Please introduce some history part and what you did before and how long time you're together, guys.
Okay, we're TelosDAC purely because we are in the process of preparing an airdrop actually because we'll be a community-owned block producer starting off on the Telos blockchain, but we're also now on MEET.ONE. And we're all about community and developing ownership structures that empower community into unlikely businesses. A block producer, for example, by inviting the community to help us run our organization, we also give people that wouldn't normally be involved in a block producer that opportunity and an easy ramp to get on. And the history is, this time last year, I was following EOS very closely, but mainly as an investor. And I was curious, wondering about block production, the discussions going on, and I didn't know how to get involved. So, and then, then I heard about EOSDAC and what they were doing, and it felt like a very good idea. And I was actually in the process of building a second DAC for EOS when Telos came along, and I thought that's part of the conversation.
All right. So MEET.ONE is your second sidechain you're participating as a block producers.
It is indeed, yes. Yeah.
All right.
And we joined MEET.ONE as soon as you made the announcement, because on a personal basis, I've been very interested in MEET.ONE right back to when you first produced the flyer listing the dApps for EOS.
Oh,
It was a
oh,
very, very the graphics on that were quite impressive. I like that.
thank
And
you.
you've kept up with that. It's very clear, very simple, and I've used it a lot to explain to people what blockchain is and the apps running on blockchain, purely because of the way it's set up. You can see the different areas, and at the same time, when you look at it as a whole, the bigger picture, you see how it all fits together. So that was a good tool.
Thank you. I will forward your words to our designer.
Yes, please.
I think he will be happy. So
Yeah.
about the depths and all the things is still not here, but we
Yeah.
don't want to rush and to have empty depths without users. So we want everything together in one moment,
Mhm.
and it will come a bit later. So need to wait a little bit.
Gotcha.
I would like to ask the questions about your servers infrastructure. If you have kind of this information, what
Yes,
kind
yeah.
what kind of servers you have and how you deal with it.
Right. Our servers are mainly, I'll just find the information quickly. Our servers are 32 gig bare metal servers based in Europe. They're Intel i7 running SSDs, bog standard equipment that we're running, purely for simplicity and to make sure that we can utilize the same team to run and monitor both infrastructures on the two chains. We've got a roadmap to upgrade our infrastructure over the next year or so. And although we'll keep an eye on what the blockchain requires, but we will try and maintain our path, because our sysadmins are advising us quite strongly around that, and to make sure that we're utilizing resources correctly. So we will be looking to maintain our 32 gig RAM bare metal servers with i7 processors, as well as XFS format for performance. But apart from that, nothing out of this world. We haven't invented anything yet
Yeah,
around
yeah,
the equipment. But we're making sure that we're satisfying the blockchain as much as possible. Although we're
yeah.
happy to look at anything that you might need in terms of, if it's kind of like bespoke, or you want us to drive in a certain direction, we'll take direction from the network managers, if you will.
I understand. I understand. I think this question is better to ask our CTO, and I'm not also a technical guy. So
Okay,
right now, I think everything is good as far as consumption of resources not so high. So we're pretty
yeah,
satisfied with with the speed of the network for right now. But it
fantastic.
is early to say. It's really baby stage of the network
Mhm.
right now because we still don't have like big usage right now. So when the dApps will come and the usage will come, amount of transaction will flow, then we'll see what kind of issues we will have, and then we'll need to operate and cooperate together to fix these things. So I think
Fantastic.
it just needs some time.
Yep,
That's I think. So you are right now in UK, right?
I am indeed, yes.
How you deal with your for example, with your team, how you schedule calls. For me, is we're a bit different. We are not DAC. We are organization
Mhm.
which cooperating in one office, and we are pretty efficient in things what we are doing. That's the reason because we are always in same time in same place, so we can make a decision and go through some things. But how you deal with the DAC thing, like calling community together, making decision. Uh, is it hard or not?
It's challenging. It's challenging. It makes it difficult for us to even expand. And one of the challenges we've had is actually going into Asia, for example, purely because of the massive time difference. But we manage using Slack. We communicate a lot using Slack and Telegram. And because BP operations are 24/7,
Right.
there's always someone available, and the team are dedicated. we meet on a Sunday most times, about 4 p.m. UK time, which has
All
been
right.
seen to be quite flexible for everyone because one, Saturday most people are not working, so they've had a bit of a rest and they're quite okay. Especially, our friend in Australia, for example, Sunday evening, he's had a relaxation over the Saturday, and he's going into Monday. So a bit unfair on him, but it's coming out of the weekend. Was the thinking around that? Um, so we meet on a Sunday, which has more or less worked, but it is challenging. But that's what it is. We like it. It's kept our team small. We'd want a bigger team, but a much bigger team will be a lot more challenging just to get everyone to attend a meeting. But we rely on Slack. We're quite grateful of Slack, and we're constantly looking for um, tools that help distributed teams to work effectively together.
That's true. I used to work as a DAC in corporation in a governance before, and I know something about that. It's hard to call people in same time. But if you're doing regular calls in the same time in the same day, I think people just used to, and it's becoming like obligation for them to come for the call because in another case they just cannot be efficient. They missing call and then you're missing many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. What are you guys working on? What is the earliest or next updates for next upcoming months?
We've got two main projects we're working on right now. One is to carry out our airdrop to the community. The second one, which is a bit more ambitious, we're trying to build I'm trying to see how much I can tell you, but it's a marketplace. I can tell you that much.
All right.
It's a marketplace. Yeah. Right. And it will be a DAC, but it's a marketplace that involves people who are not currently on the blockchain, who use blockchain technology, but trying to bring individuals that are not fully involved in blockchain with the advantage of being involved in a DAC and gaining ownership and control. And that's one of the reasons we'll be interested in MEET.ONE, mainly around the wallet. The wallet is quite attractive to us, the flexibility that it has, and the fact that it's mobile. The mobile wallet for me is quite an attraction, purely because of the people we want to reach out to. Will be mainly in the developing world, and they've got Android mobiles, a lot of them, and it's easier to access them that way than trying to get them to start using computers.
That's true. You know what we are aiming on, and you follow our news. This is really cool. So that's nice. Actually, if you have kind of this idea, it also can be integrated in MEET.ONE sidechain because we are helping new projects to develop their product and to try what they can do on MEET.ONE sidechain, and then later they can go on the mainnet. So this is our decision is like a first step to the EOSIO software. You come into the sidechain and try on the cheaper resources.
That makes sense.
And also we help with the promotion for the projects who come in early on the early stage to the MEET.ONE sidechain, and then you can find some VC founders on it. So it's like a meeting place. So that's why it's called MEET.ONE. It's a meeting chain when people meet each other and they try and what they can do. And then later they can go on the mainnet for if they want different and other users from the mainnet.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, it's good to know that.
And another purpose is scalability of transactions. So we need more TPS. So sidechain with connection IBC to the mainnet is it is a perfect solution. Okay. So that's why we're really glad that many teams participating, and thank you guys for participating as well. It's really cool.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I have to mention the community. Eva and Suzanne, they've been fantastic around communication, keeping everything in order. It's
Oh
made it
yes.
easier for us. You have no idea because we've got all sorts of things going on. But our Meet One has been very uneventful, if I could say that, which is a good thing.
Right, right. They're really good. This girls working very hard.
Yeah,
Eve, we have Eve, Et, Sam, and Susan working in
yeah,
community. I really appreciate to cooperate with them, and I'm really glad that they participated in our team. Very
yeah,
nice. I wish to know more information about your team. Maybe you can send me some information later so we can write down
I
an
would. Yeah,
article more clear.
definitely.
That will be nice.
Yeah, we'll
And
do that.
and the last question before we finish the call, I would like to
Yeah.
ask you about leave some message to the users and why users need to vote for TelosDAC.
Okay. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to participate in the network. I'm always looking for opportunities to line up with what we're looking for. But mainly for the users, just watching the voting dynamics, I can already see there's a lot of participation from the Meet.ONE users, and would like to meet you to interact with them as much as we can, because as a BP, we haven't had much exposure, especially in Asia, and it seems to me that Meet.ONE has a good footprint over there. So, I'd like to meet up with them. We're happy to discuss our projects. Our projects are mainly in the developing world, and anyone that wants to get involved with that kind of thing, we invite them to come and talk to us and work with us and bring ideas. We're open to that. We are a DAC and looking to activate other DACs. So with votes, we'll be able to do that, work on our projects, and speed up some of the work that we're doing and make those commitments that are required to make this work.
Sounds really ambitious. Really.
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, but this is what this space does. You look at the opportunities and the potential,
Yeah, when you
and
work in with the team, you need to find some algorithm. And if
yes,
you catch this algorithm, if I know it works, you are get successful once in future
yes,
it goes much more smoothly.
it does. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. Good.
Richard, thank you for call, and let's keep in touch and let's talk in Telegram more.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's make the network more active and bring more users to EOS and Meet.ONE.
We will. We will.
Yeah.
We'll do that. We're constantly doing that in the background. But thank you for your time, Dimitri. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for the participation in the sidechain. I like the idea. It's great, and it follows the EOS stream
Cool.
for the sidechains and increasing the transactions.
That's great. That's great. Sorry
Yeah.
for early call and have a good
That's
day.
fine. That's right. You too. We'll catch up.
Goodbye.
Okay. Cheers. Bye. Bye.